If you go to Chinese social media, you will see a lot of information regarding Japan. Of course, it's all negative. So something like the government warns its citizens do not go to Japan. The Japanese stock market, dropped significantly, and Japan is trying to start another imperialism as it used to be. So all negative. So I mean, I'm getting used to it. It's nothing new, to me. But today I want to analyze in the Chinese media in a different perspective. I guess some people might heard that in China we have a very centralized government, and so does its media. When I was young, my dream was to become a journalist, to report news, to be an independent journalist, writing articles about social issues. But when I grew up, I found out it's impossible. So, I would say journalism is probably one of the worst major you can choose in China because everything you have learned is so different in the reality. So because journalism emphasizes critical thinking, emphasizes independence, but China, of course, under centralized government, there's no independence. Basically, you are told to write whatever they want, they need. You're basically just a person who write for them. You don't write for yourself. Because if you write for yourself, you're not gonna pass the censorship anyway, right? And the worst case is you might get caught because you might have the intention to, spread misleading information. You might cause potential threat to the current regime. So that's the worst case. But under a centralized government, you will probably see all the media say the same thing different ways. It's all consistent. Well, the essence of journalism is actually to spread the information, but in China, it's more like a propaganda. So we all know the consequence of propaganda. It's nationalism, populism. It happened in Nazi Germany before. We all know the consequence. You might see a random Chinese who never met a Japanese in their entire life, but he hates Japan. This guy hates Japan for no reason. Because what? Because of the long-term information this guy have received is all negative. It's the same happened to United States before, but now because China and the United States get a little bit closer, you suddenly do not see that much of negative information. It just switched to Japan this time or that moment. So, at that specific moment, you might see a bunch of people hate Japan, hate everything from Japan for no reason. But what's the worst case? So you might see some extreme cases that a Chinese person might randomly attack a Japanese person in the street in China. I'm afraid that situation what might happen in the future. It has happened before, but I don't want this situation will happen in the future.